Hi, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your December 16th to the 31st, 2021 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Cancer, December 16th to the 31st, 2021, Cancer. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At our root here, we have the High Priestess and we have the Empress, which is absolutely intensely beautiful, sacred feminine energy for us. Now, the High Priestess also has a connection with the moon. If we can see here by the octopus tendril, it looks like a crescent moon. We are ruled by the moon, Cancer. So this is going to be very powerful. The way that we're starting to see things, the revelations that are coming to us. Just be ready for the intensity of it. Then we move to our inner self. We have the Nine of Cups, wishes coming forward, wishes coming true. We have the Page of Cups. It's us as a student. We're represented by the cups in the minor arcana. We're represented by the Chariot in the major arcana. And there's just some beautiful learning. And there's also a sense of going against the norm, against the grain of things, and really stepping into who we truly are. We have the Two of Swords. We always thought there were two roads to be walked. Now we're starting to see more. And it brings us to the Knight of Cups. That's us again, coming through this time as a warrior, as a knight, as the defender of our hearts, wrapped in our heart chakra. This is going to be a time where we're connecting emotionally to things really quite spectacularly. Then we have the Six of Wands, celebration and success. And we have the Death card, which is Scorpio energy. So if we have Scorpio within our natal chart, this is going to come through very powerfully within the public arena. Also noting that Scorpios can affect us more publicly, or affect us more, in a way that they can see, in a way that we can see than we would like. Just being aware of that is also going to be helpful. Since Scorpio is also water sign energy, it's amplified by the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups. Let's see the energy we need to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. The Chariot. This is us, Cancer, coming through. We need to be mindful during this time of getting in our own way. We can absolutely do that. We also have to be mindful of the subconscious and the conscious not being aligned, and us being pulled in like different directions, or thinking, okay, I just have to do this one thing, and Spirit's saying here, oh my gosh, you're forgetting so much more that needs to be connected. We're also going to be very drawn to people who are highly emotional and yet almost rampaging forward. They're not really going to be moving forward in a distinction. So being aware of this is going to be very helpful during this time. It then moves us to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. It's the I Am presence. And this is absolutely one of my favorite chakra cards, if not my favorite chakra card within the whole entire deck. This is the crown chakra, and it's saying, how am I crowning myself within my life? This is the I am strong and powerful and brilliant and beautiful and successful and courageous and able to live my life on my terms in the way that I want to. Or I am overwhelmed, I am exhausted, I am scared of speaking my truth, I am defined by other people and not by myself. And people say, Dane, why do you say the negative as well as the positive? And it's for one very distinct reason. When we say the positive and we feel the positive, it's like, yes, of course, that's me. But when we say the negative, we have to be open and honest with ourselves and say, yeah, that's me sometimes too. And oh my gosh, I do that. So what are we crowning ourselves with? What is the crown that we're putting on our heads? That of majesty, that of power, or that of a broken, wounded warrior or ruler who isn't able to lead their life and themselves? So this is a powerful question, and it has a powerful answer to it. It is realizing that I am enough, that I am beautiful, that I am powerful, that I am connected. And beauty doesn't mean externally beautiful, though I do wish that on everybody, of course, but it means inwardly contented and powerful and in love with ourselves and how we are evolving in our lives. Not every moment of every day, not all the time, but just having that connection is going to be such a game changer for us. And it's moving forward with that crown, with that brilliance that others will see and that we are definitely noting. Now, on the 17th of December, let's get into the astrology of it all. On the 17th of December, we have the Sun semi-sextile Pluto. Now, this is a fantastic influence. It makes us magnetic and charming. We are driven. We are determined. We are focused. We are ruling it. We are absolutely crushing it on this day, and that's wonderful. Also on the 17th of December, we have the Sun sextile Venus. Now, this adds power to the day. It amplifies our energy vibration of love, and it pushes us forward towards success. Money and love, they seem to be on our side on this day, and we really do seem to be embracing it all. So that's going to be something that's really powerful. On the 18th of December, we have the full moon in Gemini, which we will be discussing in a separate video. On the 19th of December, we have Mercury squared Chiron. Now, Mercury is of, talking and communication. Chiron is the wounded warrior. This configuration brings anxiety to us because we're worrying over our words. Are our words going to wound? Are our words being taken as we meant them? Are we going to be misunderstood? That almost seems like the worst thing that can happen during this day. That we be misunderstood, that somebody not see our true intentions. And that can really cause us to almost being afraid to say anything. And what Spirit is saying here is that people will misunderstand. People will not see our intentions and ourselves. And that is okay. Because that is on them, it's not on us. We need to move forward in kindness, in respect, in love, and in harmony, in a brilliance of our being. And if that compassion does not translate to the other person, that is okay. We cannot blame ourselves on this day, though we're going to want to. Also on the 19th of December, well, we have a few things happening here. We also have Venus going into retrograde until the 1st of January. Now, Venus going into retrograde challenges love. So here we're also apprehensive about what we're saying. Now we have love challenges coming forward, and this can be a little bit smoother, but because Venus is going to be aligned with Pluto, it makes things just a little bit more challenging. Also, we have Pluto energy coming forward because of Scorpio energy. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, so this makes things just a little bit more challenging during this time. We need to remember to make time for us, because we're going to think, oh my gosh, if things are more challenging, I just have to work harder to win over everybody. That is exhausting. Okay? This is a time of embracing our heart, of embracing our emotions, of seeing ourselves and falling in love with who we are, and letting those relationships move off of that love, move off of that caring. Also on the 19th of December, we have the Sun sextile Jupiter. Now this, with everything going on with Venus going into retrograde, with Mercury squared Chiron, we need this good luck energy, this good luck and alignment of the Sun sextile Jupiter. It brings luck on our side. We seem to be in the right place at the right time with this energy. Enthusiasm and self-confidence serves us well. So we need to take it instead of saying, no, I don't deserve it, which we can easily say on this day. On the 20th of December, again, we have a few things happening here. We have Mercury sextile Saturn. Now, this alignment gets things done. We have a focused mind and the ability to see the bigger picture. We are organized and have excellent memories. We get the job done. We know what needs to be done, and we go and we do it. We may have a tendency to obsess about things, so kind of don't be so hard on yourself, because we're going to have a tendency to think, if it wasn't 110, 15, a million%, then I did it wrong. And Spirit's saying here, no, you didn't. On the 20th of December, we also have Mercury trine Uranus. Now, this is an amazing alignment. It is brilliant. It is creative. It has us seeing what we need and expressing ourselves well. We also see and almost seem to sense the future during this time. So it enhances our psychic abilities. Don't be afraid of what's coming forward. Don't be afraid of the information that's coming our way. Stay calm, stay focused, and we will be unstoppable. It's all amplified because of the High Priestess here at our root. So the 20th of December can be quite intense. On the 21st of December, we have the winter solstice, and we will have a separate video on that. Now, the winter solstice is also the last day of Sagittarius, and it moves into Capricorn energy. Our sister sign is Capricorn. So this time pulls out the best in us and also the worst in us. So be prepared for that. On the 23rd of December, we have the North Lunar Node leaving Gemini and entering into Taurus. Remember, the North Lunar Node is the head of the dragon. Gemini is all about words and expressions. This is a time of great curiosity, of learning, of chanting, of talking, of seeing, of understanding. We have found that during this time, it was the knowledge that we were seeking. It was what we were seeking. It's the answers that we were seeking that were the greatest thing. Now we're moving into Taurus energy, and it's the grounding. It's the planting of the seeds of what we have seen, of what we have observed. On the 24th of December, we have Saturn squared Uranus. Now, this is on Christmas Eve for those of us who celebrate Christmas. This alignment makes us strong and independent. It makes us self-aware and progressive. It also brings a tendency towards creativity and spontaneity, but it brings also a tension within us that we're going to feel like, okay, something more has to come forward. We're also going to have a strong sense of responsibility and really appreciate the stability and the structure of traditions. So this is going to be a time where we're going to find our traditions being very important to us, and maybe even adding a few new ones. On the 25th of December, Venus is conjunct Pluto, which is Christmas Day for those who celebrate. Love is absolutely important to us. We need to express our hearts. We need to align ourselves with our heart and our passion and our heart chakra. This is a time where we are the warrior of our heart. And if our hearts are just feeling a little bit heavy on this day, it's taking time to embrace what we love. It's taking time to remember to smile and know that laughter is so important. On the 25th of December, we also have Mars conjunct Chiron. This is an intense alignment of the fiery passion of Mars and the wounded warrior of Chiron. It is a bit aggressive, but we also tend to see here and desire helping people above ourselves. So we're going to have to remember that we matter on this day also. It's funny because with Mars conjunct Chiron, we're going to be aggressively helpful. It's like aggressively, I can do this for you, don't worry. So just be aware of that. On the 26th of December, Mercury is sextile Neptune. This alignment makes us extremely sensitive to the world around us and can bring powerful psychic revelations. Again, enhanced because of the High Priestess here. The High Priestess and us are astoundingly connected. We need to be kind to ourselves on this day and listen to our instincts. On the 27th of December, Jupiter is squared North Lunar Node. This is known as a philosophical time, meaning that we are looking and questioning and seeking on this day. On the 29th of December, the Sun is squared Chiron, and a few things are happening on this day as well. This makes us aligned with our passions and our instincts, and the sun just burns brightly within us. The wounded warrior of Chiron says that it's time to look at other people's pains and other people's sufferings. Again, other people's pains and sufferings can almost outshine our own, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It could be a way that we need to, lose ourselves and forget the pain that we're going through at this time. But we also have to remember not to sacrifice ourselves for everybody else. Also on the 29th of December, we have Mercury conjunct Venus. This is a loving, refined, and honest time. This is a time of passion, and we can be a bit submissive in what we're going after. It's like, if it's not that big a deal, just let them have it. So just be mindful of that and don't let people take advantage of us on this day. Also on the 29th of December, we have Jupiter entering into Pisces. This really amplifies Pisces energy because we're going to see that Jupiter and Pisces have a lot in common. They're both very spiritual, they're all about growth, and they're all about wisdom. The energy of Pisces comes forward, which increases our love and our compassion and also our self-sacrificing. We'll also have to be mindful of the energy we're letting into our lives because we feel things more intensely. Again, amplified by the High Priestess. We feel things more intensely and our psychic gifts start to come forward. On the 30th of December, we have a few things happening here. We have Mercury conjunct Pluto, which we feel more because of the Scorpio energy and in the public arena. This is an alignment of powerful intellect and intense curiosity. We can be astoundingly intense and have a unique way of communicating. We can almost think that our way of communicating is wrong, but everybody's going to be so drawn in by it that we're going to be like, okay, this is working for me. Let it work for us on this day. On the 30th of December, Mars is sextile Saturn. Now this makes us driven and very focused. We are also cautious and calm on the exterior, but in our interior is super intense and ambitious. So the outside is not going to be matching the inside on this day. People are going to think, oh wow, you're so laid back, you're so easygoing, Cancer, and we're going to have a tendency to think this about everybody, like, wow, you have it really, all figured out. Inside, we're like a duck, right? On the surface, we're calm and serene. We're paddling like crazy underneath. On the inside, we're paddling like crazy. So just be aware of this and not take things so seriously because we're going to have a tendency to get really intense on ourselves on this day. Lilith remains direct for the whole month of December, and this is in Gemini energy. So this means that we can talk our way out of almost anything. We, however, like to smooth over things during this time, so we're not going to want to make a big deal out of anything, which can really make us downplaying some things that need to be addressed. So just be aware of this. We have the High Priestess coming in at our root, and we have the Empress. This is a time of connecting with beautiful, sacred, feminine energy, which is an energy that really feeds our souls and ourselves. This is a time where we're looking at things more intensely, more openly, more honestly for ourselves. We're also having the veil lifted from our eyes. We're not seeing the lies that others are trying to push forward. So be aware of that old tricks, like old ways of seeing things, old tricks that people thought, oh, well, that will work on you, Cancer. They're not working anymore, and they're really not going to. This is a time where we're embracing ourselves and what we truly want and who we truly are and what we truly desire. And we're almost going to be surprising ourselves with the way that we see things and the, bull that we're not taking anymore. We're also birthing something into this world, something creative, something that's so important to us, something that we nourish and we cherish. And it's like, okay, it's time. And it's a beautiful ending. Like, this is a beautiful ending of 2021 because we're stepping into 2022, which is a time of new beginnings because it is the angel number 222. And we're going to find here that we need to nurture our creativity, our passion, our desire, that it's, breaking down barriers. It's moving us forward in a way that we haven't expected. This energy here, the sacred feminine energy, this energy with creation and understanding and truth and insight brings us to the 9 of Cups. It brings us to what we deeply wish for, what we deeply desire. It brings us to a place of greater understanding. It also has us having more to ourselves and the substance of our being than we realize. People are going to realize this. People on the exterior of our lives or the external world are going to see this within us. We're not necessarily going to see this ourselves, which is actually a bit of a shame, because wishes start coming forward, beauty starts coming forward, insight starts guiding us, and all of a sudden it becomes a game changer. We're going to see things starting to align. Now, this can also be because of our psychic development, our ability to, really connect with our intuition and what we desire and the art of manifestation. It brings us to being a student. It's almost like, how do I learn to utilize this time in the best way possible for me? How do I learn to break down barriers, embrace my soul, embrace what I want, embrace what I need? And this is a time where we are such a student of the waters that run over us and through us and within us, that quench us, that bring us forward in desire. This can also be a time where I just see the waters just coming over. This can be a time of, connection to ourselves and the waters that guide us, through baths, through showers, through just this sense of cleansing, the sense of connection with our element. And it's going to have us looking at things differently. We can get some of our best ideas in the shower or in the bath because we're letting our mind wander. We're letting ourselves become. And as we are becoming stronger and more intense. But we're also seeing I can embrace things as a child. I can embrace things with open curiosity and discovery and, desire for the heart and the self. And it brings us to seeing that there are more roads open to us than we originally thought. We thought we had two paths. We thought we had two ways. We might have always seen, okay, you could be this or you could be that. You could do this or you could do that. And we bought into it. Now we're starting to look at the box and say, why do I even want you in my life? Like, this isn't what I want at all. And so we're starting to see something new build and grow and become within us. And we're starting to see new paths open up, and we become warriors here of our heart. We embrace the heart chakra. We're rising above so much emotional chaos and hurt and manipulation and pain that we look at it and we say, no, there's more here. And I'm not weak, and I'm not, undecided. I am powerfully, beautifully, and brilliantly me. I am embracing this in a way that I never thought I could. I'm opening up the door in a way that I've always longed for. And this becomes the game changer. We are warriors of our heart. But more importantly, we are warriors of ourselves and the wisdom that comes our way and the insight that gets to be a part of us, in the sense of I'm drinking deeply of the holy grail of inspiration, of the holy grail of understanding, the part of the Arthurian legends that people, sought their whole entire lives. Heck, people do so to this day. Seek the power and the wisdom and the everlasting life. Well, the everlasting life is the subconscious connection to the world, is the conscious connection to the earth, and the sense of there's always being, there's always living, there's always becoming. And I am becoming part of that growth cycle. I'm becoming part of that wisdom of what is truly desired. And it brings us to the Six of Wands. It brings us to a celebration. I mean, here we're ready to kind of raise it and praise it, a type of energy coming forward, if we want to, say it that way. This sense of, I get to celebrate my existence. I get to celebrate my world. I get to celebrate my heart, myself, my soul. And this isn't being egotistical. It's saying I matter and I get to be celebrated. This is also the beautiful power of who we are and what we desire. We might have a hard time connecting with abstraction, right? With the abstract, with maybe the abstraction of an all-knowing, all-seeing being, especially if we see the suffering in the world. And it's like, how? How does this compute? But we can connect with a tree. We can see the beauty in a tree. We can see the beauty in the ground that we walk upon, that nourishes us, that we build our houses on, that we connect with. We can see the beauty in the water that quenches us, in the rivers that, flow within us through our veins. We are starting to see that we are more connected, that we are more empowered, that we are more than we've been told. And that's, for some of us, we're starting to see that we were sold a lie that kept us from celebrating ourselves, that kept us from seeing ourselves, that kept us from truly embracing what we wanted because it didn't fit into a box. This is a time, again, there's a sense here of like, screw the box. I need to move forward for me. And it brings us to the death card. It brings us to a dying away of the old self, a rebirth of the new, which can be a time of pain. We can look at this rebirth within our lives and say, I don't want this anymore. I don't want the anger and the suffering and the arguments and the endless feeling of worthlessness. And we can see our relationship changing. We can see ourselves changing. We can see going from being a person who is taken care of, a child who is taken care of, to a person now who's learning to stand in their own power and in their own voice. And that's hard. I mean, the end of a relationship is hard too, but an end of somebody just gets to watch over me. Somebody gets to protect me. That's also very painful. And we mourn, but we respect the journey that we're on and what we're becoming. The death card is the rising like the phoenix from the ashes, even if at times it doesn't feel like we're rising the right way. It brings us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and that's justice. We have to be mindful of trying to be so just to everyone that we are just to no one, especially ourselves. So by the letter of things, white page, black print, that's all there can never be. Then we forget how scales balance. We forget the cutting harshness of the letter of the law instead of the spirit of it. It brings us to our subconscious chakra self. And that's inner strength. This is the solar plexus chakra. We're seeing ourselves break out of a frozen world, like a sense of not connection, of no connection, of not connecting to ourselves and what we desire. It's almost like we've been frozen. We've been stunted. And what we're seeing here is we're breaking out of this. And we're breaking into a new expression and a new brilliance of being and self. And this is beautiful for the beginning of 2022. It's like there's so much more here than meets the eye. And it brings us to our subconscious rooted energy. And it's justice. It's learning how to balance the discerning energy for us. Meaning that I don't have to be just to everybody. But I get to embrace the brilliance of me. I get to say this energy is right for me, this energy isn't, this concept works for me, this concept doesn't, this idea, vibrates within my sphere of being, and this doesn't. And saying no to certain things does not mean that we are being cruel or unjust. It means that we are listening to the voice within us that guides us. It brings us to our subconscious inner self. And that is the Four of Cups. That is a gift coming in from God, Source, Spirit, however we see the divine, the universe. A gift coming in that is unexpected and unadorned, so we don't look that way. It can be something that comes in and we think, wow, this is so much more work than I wanted, than I needed. We're starting to see new paths opening because we're starting to look in a different direction than we have looked before. It brings us to our subconscious emotional self. And this is the Ten of Pentacles, prosperity and abundance that lasts for generations. This is a generational blessing coming in. We always think of generational curses, hurts and pains and negativities that have been spoken over us and that we have been raised in. Now this is a generational blessing. This is a sense of strength and determination and focus and brilliance. This is wealth coming forward. This is money, or what we value as much as money, and sharing it with our communities, sharing it with ourselves, building ourselves forward. This is an end of a cycle when it comes to finances, when it comes to money. Meaning that we start to look at things in a new way, and we've already become that warrior. It brings us to our subconscious public arena self. And it's the devil. It's Capricorn energy. Now, Capricorn is our sister sign. It is a sign that pushes all our buttons and also can be our very best friend in the whole entire world. We're breaking the chains. We're breaking the expectations of others. And we're starting to live within the expectation of ourselves. We're going to see ourselves becoming more than we imagined. And that is going to be extraordinary. But we're looking at what brings us down, what pulls us down, what doesn't let us express and soar and move and have the freedom that we greatly want. All right, Cancer. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this time. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Cancer.